Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being, and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another, not by creed, but by covenant. And we are called to answer the call of love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here.
In the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Dear ones, as always, it is so good to be together. What a joy to see you in your Hollywood squares and in the pews this morning. I want to say a special welcome to our guests from New Hampshire, Iowa, Tennessee, Maine, Connecticut, New York, Michigan, Minnesota, California, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. Welcome, friends. Thanks to Queen Cheryl, Jeffrey Hale, and their Great Doors team this morning for ensuring that we gather safely. Our singers are following a COVID-19 testing protocol so that they can sing unmasked. We've closed the first 4 pews in the front to keep everyone safe. A reminder to those of us in the sanctuary that we're going to let them do the singing today, and we'll hum along in our masks. Folks in the Zoom room, please sing your hearts out. For those who are new to Arlington Street, a very special welcome to you. Please take a moment now to fill out the connection card. The link is in the chat. It includes the option to request the link to a recording of today's sermon. Since I can't greet all of you in person after the service, I'd love to follow up with a virtual hello. Whether you've been coming here for years or today is your first time at Arlington Street, welcome home.
Good morning. If you haven't already downloaded today's order of service, it's available in the chat and on the homepage at ascboston.org. For our device-free guests here in the sanctuary, there are printed copies at the Great Doors. All of the hymn lyrics are included in the order of service and will be posted in the chat. If you're zooming in, we're counting on you to be our virtual choir, singing your hearts out while those of us in the sanctuary hum along. There's also a link to Sermon Bingo on the homepage. Feel free to play along while Reverend Kim preaches. And now, friends in the sanctuary, let's maintain physical distance as we smize, that smile with your eyes, and wave at each other. Zoomers and friends with a device handy, please say hello in the chat. Let's all engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distancing as we greet one another heart to heart.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see those of you here with us live and those of you here with us on Zoom. I'm Mark David Buckles, the Director of Music. Our first set of hymns this morning is a mashup of Sarah Dan Jones's Meditation on Breathing and Curtis Mayfield's People Get Ready. As it is a meditation on breathing, I invite us to engage with our breath, engage with ourselves, remember where we are and what we are doing right now, And as you hum or sing along, I just invite you to sing any part, any harmony that moves your spirit today. And that's kind of a general direction for singing with us in general. So we're going to begin with meditation on breathing. We'll add in People Get Ready a little later, and then we'll put them together. Let's take one deep breath together before we start.
Just thank the Lord.
It is now time for a treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. These candles were submitted on our website by the Friday evening deadline. If you didn't submit your candle and have a joy or sorrow to share this morning, please wait until the third candle is lit, the silent candle, and then type your joy or sorrow in the chat. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. And now, in the spirit of invocation, let's join in singing and humming Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Some of us come today with heavy hearts. We open our hearts to you.
We are pleased to announce that there are no candles of sorrow today.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
And some of us come today in joy. We share your joy.
Our first candle of joy is from Susan and Art Judge, for Daddy's little girl, Ingrid, who turned 59 yesterday. Our next candle of joy is from the Arlington Street congregation, a candle of great joy and welcome to baby Pippa, born to Anne and Ben Koffel on September 18th. Congratulations and much love to your beautiful family. Our next candle of joy is for Betsy Shearer. Betsy is finally home from the hospital after a successful heart surgery. We are sending you our love and continued healing. Our next candle of joy is from the congregation. The Cambridge cat killer has been apprehended. This is great news for the cat community in the greater Boston area. May the cat killer get the help he needs. Our next candle of joy is from Deborah Peck. For my great-nephew, Nevin Edward, born October 14th, 5 pounds, 15 ounces, mom and dad and large extended family overjoyed with his arrival. Our final candle of joy is from the Arlington Street congregation. This week, we are celebrating Reverend Kim's perfect trifecta, wishing her happy ordination anniversary and a very happy birthday. Happy 32nd anniversary to our beloved minister at Arlington Street Church. There are no words to express our gratitude for your leadership, loving guidance, and presence during the past 19 months. Though never having taken a global pandemic management course in divinity school, you've done a magnificent job of getting us through this. You are a gift, a blessing, and we love you beyond measure. Happy birthiversary.
For all the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, and for the world. Amen. And let's join now in saying together the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant to dwell together in peace and speak our truths in love and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra congregación y el servicio es nuestro regalo. Esto los comprometemos con vivir en paz, hablar nuestras verdades con amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Our next hymn today is one of my favorites, Seek Not Afar for Beauty. I invite you to hum or sing along with us. Afar for beauty, lo, it glows. In dew-wet grasses all about thy feet. In birds, in sunshine, childish faces sweet. In stars and mountain summits topped with snows. Go not abroad for happiness, behold, it is a flower blooming at your door. Bring love and laughter home and evermore. Joy shall be yours as changing years unfold. in wonder workings or some bush aflame. We look for truth and fancy it concealed, but in earth's common things love stands revealed, while grass and flowers and stars spell out God's name. While grass and flowers and stars spell out God's name.
Mother Teresa, Albanian Indian Catholic nun and missionary, said, "We cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love." Be faithful in small things, she added, because it is in them that your strength lies. Be faithful in small things. This is Vermont poet Julie Cadwallader Straub's Reverence. The air vibrated with the sound of cicadas on those hot Missouri nights after sundown, when the grown-ups gathered on the wide back lawn, sank into their slung-back canvas chairs, tall glasses of iced tea beating in the heat. And we sisters chased fireflies, reaching for them in the dark, admiring their compact black bodies, their orange stripes and seeking antennas as they crawled to our fingertips and clicked open into the night air. In all the days and years that have followed, I don't know that I've ever experienced the same utter certainty of the goodness of life that was as palpable as the sound of the cicadas on those nights. My sisters running around with me in the dark, the murmur of the grown-ups' voices, the way reverence mixes with amazement, to see such a small body emit so much light. Be faithful in small things. As we stood talking in his driveway, our friend Trevor, a fabulous gardener, apologized for the messy milkweed that was sending crazy airborne fluff everywhere. "I'm letting all the pollinators grow," he explained, "whether or not they're officially weeds." I'd been fretting about the bats, the bees, the degradation of the natural world, the extinction of the species, things you think about. And then our friend Gary said the words pollinator corridor, and I was hooked. I thought, that's where I can cast my lot, not with the end of the world, but with even one small thing I can do to help save it. A pollinator corridor offers contiguous habitat and forage to vulnerable species. So maybe there's a roadside flower bed, a park, someone's garden, a grassy median strip, all connected. I wanted in. I said, I want to live in a pollinator corridor. And I got to work. I planted butterfly bushes, transplanted Queen Cheryl's bee balm, hung hummingbird feeders, and let the milkweed go wild. Rick Cresta, who created a pollinator corridor in the parking lot of his condo complex, taught me to rescue maple tree saplings from storm drains and plant them where they'll flourish. This was not a heavy lift. It was a series of very small gestures. It's something every one of us can do, making it just a little easier for all the species threatened by human activity encroaching on their habitat, which is all of them. And then one early morning this week, crossing the highway to the bike trail that had been built on the old railroad bed, speaking of human invasion, I noticed something stuck to the sleeve of my jacket. It was a single milkweed seed. The word victory came to my lips. I know it's a small victory, a tiny parachute of hope with a lot stacked against it. But I'll take it. Dr. Shinichi Suzuki pioneered the idea that even very young children could learn to play the violin if the learning steps and the instrument were small enough. But whether or not small things lead to big things, faithfulness in small things is a recipe for joy. Some of it's about noticing. Some of it's about breaking down the big picture into small components. In her book, Mended, Anna White writes, maybe it's not about having a beautiful day, but about finding beautiful moments. I can choose to believe that in every day, in all things, no matter what, there are shards of beauty to seek and find. We can listen to a favorite song, sing along, dance to it, sip a hot drink on a cool day, make someone smile, catch a seasonal smell, fallen leaves, apples, and breathe deeply. Breathe. Think of a friend and call them. Don't miss the sunset. Check off that final to-do of the day. Shake out some fresh sheets. Wake up ahead of the alarm and snuggle back in. Or swing your legs over the edge of the bed to greet the gift of the morning. This is American poet E.E. Cummings. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirit of trees and a blue, true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I, who have died, am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life and love and wings and of the gay, great, happening illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any lifted from the no of all nothing, human merely being, doubt, unimaginable you. Now the ears of my ears awake, and the eyes of my eyes are opened. When we center our attention on what is small and beautiful, we find ourselves bathed in gratitude. The more small things we attend to in our lives, the more of these joys we include in our day-to-day routine, the sweeter our lives become. It all starts with paying attention. Choose where you're giving your attention and make your list. It's a spiritual practice. How could we even begin to disarm greed and envy? Asked German-British economist E.F. Schumacher in his world-altering book, Small is Beautiful. Perhaps he answered by being much less greedy and envious ourselves, perhaps by resisting the temptation of letting our luxuries become needs, and perhaps by even scrutinizing our needs to see if they cannot be simplified and reduced. And here's the quotation I've carried for nearly half a century from the first time I read Small is Beautiful. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. Be faithful in small things. There's a wonderful book called Making It on Broadway. It's a collection of candid stories from some 150 Broadway actors about their decidedly unglamorous struggle for stardom. One of the stories is from Doug Storm, struggling with the pull of big things. In his words, this happened. I was with the national tour of Les Mis and we were performing in Salt Lake City. At the time, we were doing poster sales for Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. If someone donated $50, they would receive a poster signed by the entire cast. After one performance, I was selling posters in the lobby, and I noticed a girl who was looking at me like I was the Messiah. I heard her say, "Please, Mom, please, please, can I have a poster?" Her mother said, "No," and they walked out. It was a moment, he says, I will never forget. In my left ear, quite distinctly, I heard a little whisper. It said, "Go, Doug, go." Suddenly, without giving it any thought, I took off in full costume. After walking through the crowds outside the theater, I saw the girl and her mother down the block. They had already crossed the street. As I was running toward them in my Les Miserables costume, I thought I was so busted, but I didn't really care. As I approached the girl, I said, "Excuse me." She turned around and just stared. "You forgot your poster." I handed her the poster, and I was gone. I turned around and ran back to the theater. I went to the company manager's office and said, "I gave away one of the posters. Here's my $50, my contribution to Broadway Cares." A few days later, there was a letter that showed up on the call board. It read, "Dear cast of Les Miserables, you moved me so much. Thank you. I also want to thank you for giving my daughter the poster. I don't know who you are, but it was a nice young man, and he was gone before we could say thank you. My daughter has always wanted to see Les Miserables, but she's sick, and they even had to let her out of the hospital that night so she could go to the show. The tickets were a gift from a family friend. I am a single mom. Money is very tight. It broke my heart not to be able to buy the poster for my daughter. Thank you so much, whoever you are. Thank you." Doug Storm continues, "The whole cast was standing around weeping, and I didn't say a word." 4 years later, the night before the Scarlet Pimpernel closed, I remember feeling bitter and jaded. Soon I would be unemployed again. Out of nowhere, at the stage door, I heard a little voice. "Mr. Storm?" I thought, "Oh God, who's calling me Mr. Storm?" I went to the door and froze. It was that girl. "I knew you were in the show because I've been following it on the internet. I brought you a card." "Oh my gosh, how are you doing? Do you want to come in? Are you seeing the show tonight?" "No," she said. "I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm seeing the last one." I said, "Why don't you come around tomorrow before the show and I'll take you backstage." I went upstairs and I started putting on my makeup. I stopped for a second to read her card. "I just want to let you know that I've just been accepted to NYU Tisch School of the Arts for drama. And I'm going to enroll because someday I want to give a kid a poster. Thank you for helping shape my life." I lost it, Doug Storm concludes, in a moment of my own despair and selfishness. There was that kid. Everything came full circle. That alone is why I got into this business. Beloved spiritual companions, may we be faithful in small things. There are shards of beauty to seek and find. May we find ourselves bathed in gratitude. Notice the young person looking at you. Listen for that voice in your ear. Give away a poster and pass it on. May we do small things with great love. Amen.
Friends, our generosity continues to be astounding. Thank you for your commitment to our staff, our building, and our beloved spiritual community. I'm in my second year of high school now. Reverend Kim asked me to tell you that I'm the head of the Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Action Committee at my school. I'll be representing my school at the upcoming Student Diversity Leadership Conference. I'm doing other leadership as well. A role I'm especially excited about is being the sophomore representative to the school's judicial board. The judicial board is comprised of faculty and students and serves as a disciplinary committee. When a student is in violation of school rules or the ethical or moral covenants of our community, we meet with them to talk through what happened, and we then make a decision about how to proceed. I know Reverend Kim and Kem have both served on the disciplinary committee at Concord Academy. It's interesting, challenging, and important to get it right. The eighth principle of Unitarian Universalism is our belief in building the beloved community by dismantling racism and oppression within ourselves and the world. The fifth principle of Unitarian Universalism is our belief in the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process. I love when I can put my faith in the service of my work in the world. Friends, Arlington Street is entirely self-sustaining. Please take a moment now to join me in giving to our beloved spiritual community and filling out our virtual collection plate. You can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 617-300-0509, scan the QR code in the order of service, visit our homepage at ascboston.org and click on the yellow Donate Now button, or write a check and send it to Arlington Street Church, or give it to Reverend Kim or Reverend Beth. Thank you for your generosity.
Heartbeats only happen one at a time, one at a time. You can't rush a moment, so don't even try, don't even try. There's a symphony you're missing. If you only listen, you'll find big magic in the mundane. The big picture in a small frame. Everything is sacred when you take time to notice. Big love happens in the small moments. Big love happens in the small moments. There's no use in chasing nickels and dimes, nickels and dimes. Riches all around you. Open your eyes, open your eyes. You can't buy the peace you're after, so don't even try. 'Cause you'll find big magic in the mundane, big picture in the small frame. Everything is sacred when you take time to notice. Big love happens in the small moments. Big love happens in the small moments. Feel the rain on your skin. Feel my hand in your hand. You can't do it all, so just do what you can. Feel the rain on your skin. Feel my hand in your hand. You can't do it all, so just do what you can. Feel the rain on your skin. Feel my hand in your hand. You can't do it all, so just do what you can. Feel the rain on your skin. Feel the sun on your face. You can't do it all, so just do what you can. Feel the rain bare on feet your skin. Feel on the ground. You can't do it all, so just do what you can. Feel the rain I on know your skin. You'll see beautiful things if you look around. Feel the rain on your skin. Feel just look around. You can't do it all. And you'll find big magic in the mundane, the big picture in a small frame. Everything is sacred when you take time to notice the big magic in the mundane, the big picture in a small frame. Everything is sacred when you take time to notice. Big love happens in the small moments, the big magic in the mundane, the big picture in a small frame. Everything is sacred when you take time to notice. Big love happens in the small moments. Big love happens in the small moments.
There's always a lot going on in the Zoom room. There are weekly gatherings for loving kindness meditation, poetry, a tea party, and writing. Also this week on Tuesday evening, Reverend Kim hosts Buddha's Belly Book Group in Arlington Street Meditation Center. All the information about these gatherings is at ascboston.org. To attend any of them, you don't have to be a member, you don't have to turn on your video or talk if you don't want to, and they're free. All are always welcome. Also, while you're on the website, please register for Work That Reconnects, a spiritual response to the climate crisis sponsored by the Arlington Street Climate Crisis Team, which will be held next month. And it's time for Pie in the Sky, the Thanksgiving pie sale. Thanks to Lisa Drapkin and Debbie Lewis, our Arlington Street pie sellers. Click on the link and get your delicious apple, pecan, pumpkin pies donated by local chefs. The cost of each pie provides a week of hot meals to people homebound with critical illnesses. Each Sunday, we share our collection plate with a partner in our mission of love, service, justice, and peace. Today, our gifts are being shared with the Refugee and Immigrant Assistance Center, which is supporting refugee families arriving from Afghanistan. You can read all about this in your order of service. Please text the amount you want to give in the word SHARE to 617-300-0509. Detailed instructions are in the chat. Thank you for your generosity. Following the service, everyone is welcome to join in virtual coffee hour. People in the sanctuary who aren't already in the Zoom room will need to put on their headphones. Let's be at least 10 feet away from everyone else to avoid the dreaded noise of interference. If you'd like to participate, please answer yes to an invitation that will appear on your screen inviting you to join a breakout room conversation. Afterwards, Reverend Kim and Beth will be outside in front of the church. Please come say hello after virtual coffee hour. Thank you to all of those who joined in today's service and to all of those who made it possible. Remember, we're all in this together.
Our final hymn today is Simple Faith by Mustard's Retreat. I invite you to rise in body and spirit. Hum along, sing along, clap along, dance along. Ours is a simple faith. Life is Judgment Day drawing near. Trust that inner voice you hear every day. Life's not a goal or race. It's all about heart and faith and living a life of grace every day. Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Trust is an open hand, making an honest stand, rooted here in the land every day. Living the mystery, seeking the harmony here between you and me every day. Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Every day, every day.
Beautiful. Before our benediction, I invite those of you in the sanctuary to please raise your hands, palm out. And to those of you in the Zoom room to please reach out your hands and touch the sides of your square. Let's send out loving kindness to the people on your left and on your right. Send loving kindness to the person on either side of you, and to people on either side of them, send out love in this beloved spiritual community, and feel it coming back to you. Love is the spirit of this congregation. And now for our benediction, I invite you to put your hands over your heart and namaste. I bow to the divine in you. Reverend Theodore Parker was born in 1810. He was a Unitarian minister and abolitionist. These are his words. Be ours a religion, which like sunshine goes everywhere. Its temple, all space, its shrine, the good heart, its creed, all truth, its ritual, works of love, its profession of faith, divine living. Let us keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Bless your hearts. I love you. Amen.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will
Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.